Hey, adolescent psych people. Yeah, I'm not here. But the next best thing is my voice, which I know will be comforting to you. We're just going to finish up with some notes. Shouldn't take that long, but you should have completed a social exchange theory activity in which you tried to analyze why one of your relationships continues based on this theory and why one failed to continue. Remember, the big thing about this theory is your balance of rewards versus costs. This balance is called your comparison level. Do the rewards outweigh the costs? And if they do not, funny thing is, if the balance is uneven, the first thing we do is not leave, but try to fix. Can we fix it? And the big danger here is if we're working on it and suddenly an alternative job, an alternative friend pops up in the picture, that person can be perceived as more fun, more exciting, more attractive, and then we might be out. So if we can't balance it, we may then leave, even though we're trying to fix it. So sometimes we'll stay in a relationship even though it's not balanced if there's no better alternative. And if there is a better alternative, like a better job situation or a better friend situation or a better crush cutie situation, we can leave. So it's important to work at your relationship so other people feel like you're putting in effort. So we're going to move on a little bit here, and we went over a couple of examples last week. We've gone over principle of least interest, right? The person who has the least interest is the one who really has the power in the relationship, right? They are the one who kind of, they got the muscles in the relationship and they make the decisions, which relates to social exchange theory, because if you're worried about this person not liking you as much, you may be willing to give more than you get. Now, Friday we went in and did a little activity on Psych about the evolution of love and attraction. And we talked a little bit, there was a little bit of talk about physical attractiveness, and what does attract us to other people when it comes to, as we move into more romantic relationships in the study, is physical attractiveness matters. I mean, we can't ignore it. Physical beauty and physical attractiveness is kind of like the wrapping on a gift, that a pretty package probably we're more excited about than an unpretty package, right? It's got that nice bow on it, and it looks really cool, or it's got a really cool name on it. That might make us happier than, just a brown bag of something, right? And it's just got a string on it. So physical attractiveness does matter, and there's some information that suggests that we match up over time, that people of similar attractiveness tend to gravitate or move towards people of similar attractiveness. So it's kind of like we'll have the most attractive partner that will let us. And this picture may not be super clear, but do we want to date someone as attractive as this? Probably. But it may not be the people we marry. But certainly matching hypothesis. The good news here is that people who are considered to be less attractive will be able to match up with somebody and be relatively happy. And people that are more attractive which we might say has higher social capital, they can also find somebody and be happy with. But there's no guarantee. But matching hypothesis does seem to indicate, not only with crush cuties, but with our friends, that we tend to hang out with friends who have similar attractiveness and go away. And the funny thing about that is, it seems like males put a greater emphasis on the attractiveness of their same gender friends. This isn't conscious, but males' friends may, when we observe male friends out together hanging out, may have a difference of 0.5 on an attractiveness scale between their 5 or 6 friends that are all out. They may be more similar. And females, say males 1 point, oh, maybe I should just do my math here, right? A 0.5 difference. And females, when we observe females out with their friends, we may see only a difference of about 2, which means that they'll tolerate a bigger range of attractiveness. Interesting study, a lot of interesting theories about why that exists, but from culture to culture, it seems like males tend to hang out with friends who are closer in attractiveness. We also like similarity. The rule of thumb is birds of a feather flock together. We tend to look for similarity in personality traits, not exactly the same, but similarity in intelligence and education seems to play a major role. That people who want to date this guy over here, remember, he has a PhD, so you better get going to school if you want to date that guy, Mr. Franco. I don't know if she has a PhD, maybe she does, but it's not just attractiveness, it's also similarity. We like people who complement us, that kind of fill in gaps, so we're not exactly the same. But you're not likely to see a couch potato with a daredevil, at least not for long. And sometimes it seems like women will fill in beauty gaps for males, and males will fill in financial gaps for women. We saw that on our Psych sim evolution thing. Remember, status matters, and status can either be money, attractiveness, power. Interestingly, we know this from elementary school, that mutual liking is very important. We tend to be more attracted to people who like us. That, hey, if I find out somebody likes me, I'm likely to like them too a little bit more. And this is kind of interesting, maybe not so important at high school, but people tend to be attracted to those who are good at something. They have a competence. They have a skill somehow. And that skill can be a lot of different things. When you're younger, it could be just being a class clown, and that's a skill. As we get older, it could be athletics, or it could be art, could be business skills, could be sense of humor as well. Some other things that attract us, remember that first impressions play a big part, and that's related to attraction. Right, it's what we go on. We also can see personality, at least we think we can, in those first few seconds. And can we see a skill level? Are they polite? Do they command attention? And first impressions actually form, some people say in minutes, other research shows seconds. And we tend to ignore people that don't meet our immediate needs for attractiveness level or for competency. But we should really be careful, because we can make a lot of mistakes when we first meet someone. We think they have social capital or they're competent because they're putting their best foot forward, but they may be acting really, really well in this case. So we do have to be careful, and we'll move over here. We do overgeneralize sometimes. Sometimes we think they have a great personality based on how attractive they are. And that attractive people are high in attraction, are perceived to be more fun. But not necessarily smarter. But we do make mistakes that if they look really attractive to us and they're really, really good looking, that they must be perfect. I'd marry them in a second. But later on, we may find out that they're really kind of a dud and they kick little puppies, which we don't want people to do, right? And they're mean to their mom. So we may assume a lot when we first meet somebody and we put them up on a pedestal and we make this, mistake, or we make the fundamental attribution error, and we do not consider the situation, like on a first date when people are on their best behavior, we think they're perfect, but we don't consider, hey, it's a first date and they're probably trying really, really hard. Another important factor in relationships, and I really like this part, this is really interesting to me, that we tend to get rewards. Remember the social exchange theory? We've got that balance of costs and rewards here, and the scale can tip. And rewards are benefits, right? This is what we get out of a relationship. There really seems to be three major types. One is stimulation value. This is a reward that we get when people are really interesting, they're really exciting, they have a lot of new ideas, and they introduce you to fun and entertaining things. So this is the part that's really exciting. They provide you with stimulation. They suggest movies you'd never go to, activities you never go to. Maybe during a blizzard you like to sit home and watch TV, but they want to go snowboarding. So that's fun. They provide you with fun and good ideas. Ego support is a type of reward that we know somebody appreciates us and they approve of us and they empathize with us and they let us kind of lean on them when we're unhappy. This person's going to provide us with help and encouragement and empathy, that we feel close to this person. We know they're going to support us. And some people provide both those things, not only the first, but also the second, or one or the other, not both. And then, of course, lastly, we have this utility support. And utility means useful. They provide us something tangible. So they might provide us resources. They're helpful when we need it. They're willing to give their energy to help us out. They might loan us money when we need it, or give us a ride to school if we need it, or help us move when we're moving into an apartment, or they help us with our homework, or they may give us stuff, okay? Give us nice stuff. So they help us. They're helpful. We can get things from them. They can do things for us. Some people provide all three of those things, and those are probably people that are really good friends. Some people we just know they're really good in math, and they can help us with our homework, so we go to them. And sometimes people go to us because we have a car and they want to give us a ride. So be careful. You could get used in this situation. So remember, there's some key concepts. Remember pluralistic deceit. Sometimes people lie to us and they're not even trying to. Mere exposure effect. We tend to increase our liking for things that we hang around with more, and we get used to them. But beware of the danger when dating, and I'm going to have to cut this off pretty quick here, but males seem to approach dating relationships from a psychosexual approach, which means they're willing to trade affection for sex. And females tend to approach, remember this is a tendency, from a psycho-affectional relationship. They're going to get affection if they give, the other thing. So I'm going to have to stop now so I can upload this. Good luck, and we will talk soon.